Hello, Loveland. I'm Mike Meldon, and this is your Loveland Weekly Podcast, brought to you by Gina Dubell-Smith, eXp Realty, and Stone Pillar Farm. Today, you'll hear my recent conversation with someone who embodies dedication to her community and a relentless passion for making her town the best it can be. Loveland's Mayor, Kathy Bailey. Kathy is no stranger to the world of local politics. Having served on Loveland City Council since 2015 and mayor since 2017, she's not only committed to her role, but is now seeking her third term. It's a testament to her unwavering commitment to the town she loves. Throughout her time in office, Kathy has been a driving force behind Loveland's impressive growth and countless achievements. Her vision and open-minded approach have made her a dynamic leader who is always ready to listen to new ideas and perspectives from her community. And Kathy Bailey is not just a mayor on paper. She's a visible and personable figure who genuinely cares about her town and is an active social citizen. In this episode, we'll explore her rich history on the City Council, discuss her many successes and accomplishments, and uncover her exciting initiatives that promise to shape the future of Loveland. But Kathy isn't on this journey alone. She's running alongside incumbent Andy Bateman and newcomer Brian Goodyear. In this conversation, we'll not only learn about Kathy's aspirations, but we'll also gain insight into the broader landscape of Loveland's upcoming election. So sit back and listen to the conversation with my friend and Loveland's Mayor, Kathy Bailey. Today is Monday, October 2nd, 2023.
Well, I think I'll start with sort of who I am, because people see me as the mayor and at meetings and at official things, events. So my husband and I, Bob, have lived in Loveland for 28 years now. We have 4 children, all of whom went through the Loveland City School District schools. My son, Bobby, is married and actually just blessed me with a little granddaughter who is 2 weeks old tomorrow. So it's our first grandchild. I have a granddaughter who's awesome. But our first one from scratch, as my husband would say. So yes, we are certainly enjoying that, and have triplet daughters that are 24. And everyone lives within 2 miles of us in the Loveland area, so we're very lucky in that respect. And I have worked at the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office for 33 years now. I am currently the first assistant prosecuting attorney in the civil division, so I run that division and a couple that are under it. So that's kind of my professional background. That's my actual job, my real job, if you will. Some people don't realize council is a very part-time gig. Yeah. Well, it is supposed to be part-time. Sometimes I wonder. There are days I wonder, but yes, it is supposed to be it is a part-time position. But I was first elected to council in 2015 and ran again in 2019. I have been the mayor since 2017. So this was my third time running, seeking another 4-year term on council. People get kind of confused by that. Are you running for council or are you running for mayor? We don't run for mayor. Council appoints mayor. So I'm running for a 4-year term on council. And as you and I were talking, that's kind of how you and I met, was back in 2017. My first 2 years on council were quite interesting. I was in the minority. It was a 4-3 split on council. And anyone that has lived here for 6 or more years is well aware of the absolute embarrassment and dysfunction that was the hallmark of my first 2 years on council. It was unreal. It was embarrassing for me to sit there and listen to how our residents were treated, and to see the press. We had press at so many meetings, just taking video, and it was. It pulled people in. It did that.
You had to pay attention, right? That's what pulled me in.
Right.
And it's kind of different now. It's like you guys are doing. It's such a different atmosphere where people kind of forget you guys are there a little, which is good.
Which is a great thing.
We're
glad to have you. We're glad to have you interested.
Exactly.
But if you're not talking about us, that's a good thing.
Yeah, you guys are doing it right.
Right, exactly. It was awful. So, I guess what I'm going to kind of talk about is these last 6 years on council when I've been part of the majority that's been in a position to actually accomplish something other than the crazy meetings that went nowhere. And I think we've done that. We as you said, we've restored civility and respect to council and to our residents that come and talk to us. Worked very hard and have restored relationships that were very fractured. Prior to 2017. That would include with our Chamber of Commerce, which there was no relationship between the Chamber and the city prior to 2017. And I just, that's silly. As the Chamber and businesses go, we go. And there's just, we have a very nice partnership with our Chamber of Commerce now. Also with the school board, there was no relationship between the city and the school board prior to 2017. And we work very... We're separately elected officials, so I don't want to say that we're working closely with them, but we have a very good mutual respect, and there are times that we help them with certain things and vice versa. And it's a very open line of, absolutely, quite an open line of communication. Somebody asked me that, well, what do you do if you need to talk to somebody at the school board? I said, I say, hey, Siri. And I call Mike, right? It's not a problem. So that's good. That's a good thing, I think. Also with the farmers market, as you know, that was they were threatened to be shut down prior to 2017, which I don't understand that. We're lucky to have the farmers market. They were, and that's one of the first things we did is here's an agreement, and here's your lease for the year, and they couldn't believe how quickly. Like, yeah, we're not having this fight. That's silly. We're happy you're here. And whatever we can do to keep it going, we're happy to do. And I think also with our businesses know, especially during COVID, it was quite obvious that we are here for them. Our greatest source of revenue is income tax, and there are times people, we had income tax in Loveland. I'm like, well, do you pay it? Because we have 100% reciprocity. So if you're paying income tax anywhere else, you're not paying it to us if you're a resident. So our income tax, by and large, is coming from people that don't live in our city but are working in our city, which is why we work so hard on economic development. So I think we've really proven to our businesses that we're here for you, and as we need them to be successful, and they've paid that back to us. We used to have to really knock down doors to get anybody to, some always did, but to get like sponsorships for the 4th of July and always felt like we were, hat in hand. We need help. We don't even, I don't know that we even have to send an email asking anymore. These businesses know that we're here for them, and they're here for us now. It's a really much better relationship. So that was kind of the history of 2017 and what we've worked to do. And this is an election year, so I would kind of like to go through what I think we've done in these last 6 years that we've been able to sort of lead this city. One of the main things we've done is a renewed investment and commitment to our safety services. The Loveland Police Department, they were down in 2017 to levels from like the 1980s, which you raised your eyebrows because that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's obviously more people, more drug problems, that made no sense. So we added an officer a year until we have now reached the optimal level that our chief says this is where we need to be. We now have 4 school resource officers, and that's what we've been told by the school board. They're happy with that. That's a real nice partnership with the school district that they help pay for part of the school resource officer, and we're thrilled to have that relationship with them. We added a captain, which is an assistant chief position. So our huge investment in equipment, the body cameras, cruisers. We now have, this applies to the LSFD, our fire department too, but we've added GPS preemption signals in almost all of our traffic lights, and there will be in all. We kind of do it in a phase, but right. So that our safety vehicles can, when they're coming through, they click the button in their cruiser or their ambulance or their fire truck, and it changes the light to green for them. So we've got most of the traffic lights, and now it's a phase in of getting them in all those vehicles too. Wow. So which is obviously a huge investment in safety for this city. And our fire department, I think everybody knows, it's one of the finest fire departments in the country. It is privately owned, which is unusual. Right. I think it's the oldest privately owned fire department, certainly in Ohio.
I didn't know that.
But just even last night at the meeting, they came to tell us another accreditation that they received. They're pretty impressive.
You can see how close, you are the council with both the fire department and police department just watching a city council meeting.
A meeting, yes.
You don't see that in every town.
Yes,
You don't.
we're proud of them. We're
You
proud
should
of
be,
them.
yeah,
We
we should
respect
be.
them. We want them to know we respect them, and we've got their back. I don't ever want that to be a question, and they know that. I think they feel appreciated here. I certainly should, which we say it enough, and we mean it,
Right.
and we prove it by you tell us you need something. If we can make it happen, we make it happen. Because by and large, they're being reasonable in what they're asking for, and they're just trying to do what they can the best for this community. So I think we've really pushed hard. Even our fire department, we have $1 million truck that's arriving in 2024.
Nice.
They need a new truck. We have a new fire station that's going to be built, new firehouse down in downtown Loveland, because it's just not big enough, the one on the corner there
Right.
at 48 and East Loveland. So we're certainly been investing in our safety services. Infrastructure. When we took over in 2017, you see every summer, spring through fall, the road program, road rehabilitation. You have to do that every year. We have
Right.
5 square miles is our city, and we've been told that you need to spend about $750,000 to $800,000 per year just in maintenance. That if you
Wow.
just spend that much, you will keep up with roads. Because if you wait, they only have a 10 to 12 year lifespan. If you wait longer, instead of going down the customary 2 inches, you maybe have to dig down 4 inches
Right.
or 6 inches. So instead of doing a mile, maybe you can only afford half a mile. So the longer you defer, the less you're able to do. So when we took over in 2017, I think in the 2 years before, one year they spent 300-something thousand. Another year 400. They were
below minimum.
Way
Wow.
below. So we have, in the last 3 years at least, and I think next year we're spending $1.2 million. We're trying desperately to catch up. To get us to that point where we can drop it down to maintenance. And our
Sure.
public works crews will tell you they're seeing it. They're not out patching all winter long like they used to be. It's making a difference.
Right.
And we're now able to get kind of off the main streets and into your neighborhoods, and people are seeing that. So roads is a huge investment for us. Deferred projects that had not been, that for years should have been addressed and weren't. And they're not sexy. They only affect the people they're near. Like Broadway, that hillside was falling. We stabilized that. The Miami View culvert, just some of the main ones. We needed a new public works building. It was unreal with those people. Our poor engineer and public works director, was mold in that building. Anytime it rained, they had 3 inches of water that they had to walk through. We have a new beautiful public works building, and all of our equipment wasn't under roof, which doesn't last as long.
Right.
Now we have the space for that.
River Road too.
River Road. So
Right.
that's one of the
That was-
long terms,
Yeah.
right? You're talking about our plan to fix
exactly.
Riverside. Exactly right.
Yeah.
And that's how long term these things. Spring of 2018 is when we started talking to the Army Corps of Engineer about, look, Riverside Drive is falling into the river.
Yeah.
And all raw sewage from Warren and Claremont come in through a pipe under that road. That road fails, that's not good.
No.
Nobody's going to be happy.
So many different reasons.
So many problems. So we're working, and we have diligently, it is a constant, now we need this, now we need that, and we are checking every box, crossing every T that we're told, and they're looking for 2026 is when they plan to do that project, stabilize Riverside Drive for once and for all.
Nice.
So right, that's one of the long-term that we're taking on. Harrison Avenue, which is
That's a
right
big
now,
one.
we've
Yeah.
already started. That's a whole huge widening that, putting in a sidewalk so it's safer, but also it's a huge stormwater pipe. Anytime if the river comes up, the amphitheater, that all floods.
Right.
That's because there's crushed pipe that needs to be replaced. So that's all being taken care of as we speak. It already has started.
And it's going to make it just looking at the plans, it just makes it's going to be so much more people walking through the area.
Right.
It's going to be a lot. It's already gorgeous. It already is nice for people to walk, but it's even going to be nicer
Right.
and easier
And
for
safer.
people. And safer.
Safer, because I don't like people walking on Harrison. It's tight.
Right.
So it'll be a nice sidewalk that's make it a lot safer. Main Street, that was our worst street in the city. We never paved it because it had a water main we knew needed to be replaced. But so there's no point in paving your road if we're going to dig it up.
Right.
So they went from worst to first as they deserved, because we finally did that. That was a huge one. The parking lot. We all know we need parking.
Right.
I wanted a garage. We couldn't get the money. Now I'm not going to borrow $5 million for
Right.
an additional 120 spots. So it is going to be 150 spots. And that'll start Apparently on October 1st, the bats know to leave.
Yes.
And
that's
so
their day, eviction day.
Eviction day for the bats. That'll start. A huge one, and this has to do with, we kind of accuse sometimes we need to invest more in the Heights. We do invest in the Heights. We have it's a $2 million project that we're looking to do up in the Heights, up on Cherokee, a huge water main replacement project that also would include stormwater and everything else that goes with it. But we have a grant application in that Greg Landsman, our congressman, actually is pushing through as one of his main projects. He's trying to get funded for about $750,000.
Wow.
And then we have other funding sources for some of the rest of it, plus we have a local match. So that's coming. That's a huge project that's been deferred forever. That would be huge to do. And our local match, everybody that pays Loveland Water knows they're spending $7.50 a month that we started collecting in January towards our water main replacement fund. And we did that because we have 80 miles of water mains. It's about $1 million a mile to replace them. They last about 80 years. We need, just like our road program, we need to be replacing our water mains on a set schedule. And every time we do a major water project, because the water fund is supposed to be separate. It has to be separate. It's run as a business because 20% of our users are not in Loveland.
Okay.
So we don't use money from the general fund to pay for our water. It has to be your fees pay for what we need. Every time we need a big water project, for example, we drain a water tower, clean, whatever you do, it's $500,000. We borrow.
Wow.
Every time. That's going on for decades, century maybe. I don't know. We literally are spending over $600,000 a year on debt service alone in the water fund, which is outlandish. So collect. This fee, this $750, raises about $550,000 a year. We were going to go to $850 in 24, and then $950 in 25, and then stop. We passed legislation last night. We're stopping at $7.50. We've reached. It's bringing in more than we expected. It's bringing in what we wanted to get with the $950. Okay. So we're good. We're not going to raise it. But so the local match we need for like this Cherokee project, we don't borrow for that.
That's great.
We'll have it now.
Nice.
So as time goes on, that debt will fall off, and we're not taking on more debt in the water. So now eventually you'll have your $550 plus the $600 you've been spending on debt service. Now That's we good. Have over $1 million a year that can go towards water mains and whatever other projects. So that's a huge infrastructure help if we can do that. And as you said, Riverside Drive is a long-term project. Another is trying to get another bridge across the river.
That'd be amazing.
Somewhere. Not necessarily Loveland.
You guys started talking about that about 6 months ago, too.
Well, we actually met with the Ohio Department of Transportation it'll be 2 years in in February.
Okay.
Yes, and that's the beginning of it. And we have been, we're jumping through all the hoops that we're required to do, but you've got to do all the studies and everything else so that ODOT figures out where are all these cars coming from and how can we alleviate it.
Yeah.
If they're all coming, because people get mad at us for traffic in Loveland during rush hour. I'm like, well, if you stop the cars, I will tell you the vast majority are not Loveland residents. They're coming from Hamilton, Goshen, Miami townships. You're just mad at us because we're the ones that are providing the bridge.
Cut through, right?
Right. So that's what this study and everything else they're doing will figure out is where should this go. That's obviously long term. I don't know that I'll still be on council when this is even happening.
Hey, getting it started.
But you have to start.
That's it, right?
You have to start. Traffic, that's another big one. I feel like we're addressing at least the best we can right now. Parking, but traffic. The bridge is a long-term solution. In the meantime, we're doing everything we can, sort of incremental fixes.
Sure.
For example, buying that mobile station. That's going to be a turn lane coming south on 48. That should help the Warren County residents. It's a 100-foot turn lane with a 50-foot taper. That'll hold some cars that otherwise would be in the way if you wanted to go straight or left.
And pulling into the new parking lot.
And that'll help too, right?
Yeah.
Don't come into downtown.
No,
pull right in.
Pull right in there.
You're exactly right. Putting a left turn signal there at 5 points, if you know where that is, 48, kind of up from Stage Company. That's a fix. The lights that are all downtown and also at Wall Street are all smart lights. They watch the traffic. They see what cars are in queue, and then they'll change the light.
Oh, nice.
So it's making sure we're not unnecessary. Wall Street, it used to drive me crazy. You get a red light. There's nobody. Why am I stopped here?
Right.
We don't have that anymore. Even the right turn signal, right turn signal, if you're coming down from Whippy, the Whippy Dairy Whip, It used to be a no turn on red.
Yes.
We've changed that. And in 24, it's in the budget to extend that turn lane, make that a little longer. So those are things we're trying very hard to do. A big one that's coming right now, we're doing the engineering work. We did get a grant to put a traffic light at the bike trail crossing in downtown.
Yes.
And it'll also be a light for the pedestrians and the bike riders. And it'll take some enforcement by our police officers initially to educate.
Sure.
Because that's the problem. People just stop now.
Yeah, that's the biggest one.
Cars stop, bikes just go.
Right.
So that's coming. In 24, that's already been, we've already have the money to do that.
That's great.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Another huge priority that we have in the last 6 years, and I think we've done a pretty good job with it, is community engagement. We have now weekly, monthly newsletters. We now have a biannual newsletter that actually comes to your mailbox for individuals that maybe aren't on social media or don't get the email. Our website has been totally new website, and now we're redesigning it now currently just to make it even more user friendly. But if you have any questions, concerns, ideas, it's pretty user friendly.
It is.
And I like to tell the story. Our city manager saw an email, something came in on our website at like 9 o'clock on a Sunday, and he responded immediately, I can come out and talk to you tomorrow. They met the next morning at 9 o'clock. Like, okay, that's pretty good.
That's very good.
That's pretty good. We also created a full-time PR communications position. And it's Krista Rose, who does a great job getting information out and getting social media. Message boards, those electronic message boards. That's a 3-year phase-in. There's one on Loveland, Madeira, one on Union Cemetery. 24, the last one will be put in downtown.
Oh, great.
Those are pretty good at getting information out. We created Loveland U, which is our 10-week course, 3 hours each week, 20 to 25 participants each year, and it's sort of a inundation of what we do in Loveland and how we make everything happen.
Raving reviews from everyone that has gone through the program.
It does.
I've never talked to somebody that has gone through the program that just isn't just so excited about it. And telling you got to do it. Yeah.
Right. Because on graduation night, they each come up and explain, just give a little snippet of what, and they rave. They love it. And they seem to be making friends in the community that way too. But that was also designed to get everybody sort of find out what we're doing. We're not hiding anything, and maybe if you understand why we're doing things and what it takes,
definitely
you can, and it gets them involved too. A lot of them end up being on committees, and I guess the last thing that we really have tried to do as far as community engagement is events. We brought back Sunday night concerts in the park. We started movie nights in the park for kids. The Oktoberfest is new. The tree lighting is new. Hearts of Fire weekend is new.
Huge too.
Yeah, all of these are for community engagement. Because I know early on we were sort of criticized for these Sunday concerts. Like, what do you? Why are you doing this? What does this bring to the city? And I sit there. I go to every one of them, and I look around. I think, well, what it brings is hundreds of people and enjoying time together. Right. Well, Elvis was really packed.
Yeah, that one was
But
crazy.
They all are packed.
Yeah.
They have a decent crowd at all of them.
For Sunday night.
And what's wrong with just doing something just to get people out together? I mean, that's what a small town should be about. So I love those.
I think everything you guys are doing is awesome.
I think it's
One
great.
thing you missed.
What?
Parks.
You
guys, that is just
that
you
is,
guys
we've
have
done
been,
a lot.
You have done
You're
a
right.
lot.
You're right.
As you know, when I was on the committees and when someone had an idea or whatever, you guys are just open to it and to make our parks better and to make to publicize the parks more and say, we fixed this, we did this at this park, we're making this park better, and now public care. Here it is. Here they are. I think it's phenomenal.
Oh, well, that's great. You're right. I did kind of forget about our parks, but because we have spent over $1 million in just the last few years on our parks. And your brainchild, the dog park, that is really utilized. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I agree. We just actually in the last week installed new play sets in the 2 tot lots up in the Heights.
Great.
Which is, again, adding to we're constantly trying to invest in the Heights. And I don't know if people know about it, but we actually had a grant program that I think we've reached the last phase because we went through all the Heights where we'll offer $2,000 towards exterior improvements for any homes in the Heights.
Oh, wow. And
we would match $2,000. So you have to spend $4,000. You want to, but very, very few did $4,000. Most were more than that. So the investment there were 30 to 40 houses that you had to own it, and we didn't know rentals.
Right.
But there was a lot of homeowners up there that took advantage of that.
Is that still going on?
I think there is, at least on a couple of the streets, it's still going on. And it's the CIC is the ones who sort of, that's our Community Improvement Corporation committee we have. They sort of oversaw that. And we fund that. If there's a need to go back through, I think we would be open to that.
That's so neat.
But that's to, I don't want to see what happens in other communities where somebody comes in and buys a whole street and puts up mega mansions.
Or rentals.
Or rentals. We don't want that. That's why we only offered it to owners.
Good.
So, yeah, we want the Heights to be successful, and if we can help, it really seemed to be well received up there. So, and as you know, we've done 4 master plans over the last 3 years, which is pretty unheard of for a city to put in that kind of commitment. But we did a downtown master plan. We thought we should carve that out because it's sort of unique, and we're slowly implementing the suggestions or what's in that plan. Everything takes money, so we're constantly seeking grant money, but it's coming. We're slowly. There's already been a few things we've done.
And for people that don't know, our city manager Dave Kennedy is a wizard grant writer.
He is something else. And a grant finder.
A finder.
He finds them and finds a way to get it done. Yeah, he's pretty impressive. And actually, that parking lot that we're about to do, we figure it's going to be about a little over $1 million to do it right with all the landscaping and everything. That's entirely paid for. Yeah. We received money through the capital budget back in 2019. That's how long this has taken, and also through an Appalachian Region Commission grant. So there's no local money that has to go into that. And a lot of the people, like you said, the money spent on parks. Dave's finding money from grants. Oh yeah.
So just so people know, it's not like the city's just throwing it's Dave is finding these things to get covered.
All right, absolutely. Yeah. A streetscape plan, which we also did. That was another master plan, and we are in the process of seeking money. That's expensive. By the time you do that entire streetscape plan, it's probably a $6 million fix. So it's going to take some time, and we're seeking money for that. There's an opportunity coming up shortly that we'll be seeking, but we're not going to let these sit. They say that you don't want to put a plan, do a plan, bring the community, get them all excited, and then put it on a shelf.
Right.
We're not doing that. We're moving forward.
And you can see these plans online.
Oh yeah,
they're impressive.
Oh yeah,
they're impressive.
Easily, we make it very easy. Nisbet Park, we did a Nisbet Park master plan. We've already started implementing that. The new gazebo, there's a new seating area. You see some of the sidewalks. There's 2 more seating areas planned. We've got a couple grant applications already in for the 1 seating area. The plan is to take that amphitheater down and shift it so it faces out towards
Makes
the park.
Makes so much more sense.
Right. So there's a lot more coming in that park, but we're seeking funding for that and actively, and there's some really good sources coming up. And the last one is sort of the master plan for the rest of the city that doesn't include downtown. And a huge emphasis in that was Loveland Madeira corridor. Right. That's our next. If we can bring downtown success to the Loveland Madeira corridor, that's what we're aiming to do, because as I said, income tax is our bread and butter. And a few years ago, our city manager, Dave Kennedy, would tell you he never thought we would reach the $5 million revenue threshold of income tax. We reached that 2 years ago.
Wow.
He couldn't believe it. Last year, $6 million. This year, it is projected to be about $7.1 million.
That's great.
That's pretty unreal. In 2 years to go $2 million.
Wow.
And a lot of that is the businesses that are thriving downtown. That's why we support them.
Yes.
And that's why we're going to try to bring that success to Loveland Madeira. But also, that corridor could be a nice, beautiful boulevard with big sidewalk. I think the plan is a 10 to 12 foot shared bike lane sidewalk. Yep. It will be gorgeous
as long as people can walk it. Yeah. It'll be. I saw the plans, and they're exciting.
And we've already received actually a grant for the first phase, and admittedly the cheapest phase, but that we at least are going to start,
right.
And we're going to keep working on the rest. And part of that, people don't know, we own 8 acres. It's the Chestnut property that's off of Loveland Madeira, kind of across from where Tiger Express is now. It used to be UDF. There was a building there that we bought with a grant from Hamilton County. That'll be the entrance to this 8-acre site. It was a brownfield site. It was a dump that the city's owned since the 1970s. And talk about a deferred project. I mean, literally decades that has sat there, 50 years almost.
Nobody really even just trying to sell it.
Nobody even, I'm not even sure they were doing that. Right. It was just sitting.
Right.
Nothing happening. So we went out and with obviously Dave, big part of this, and we received a $3.3 million grant through the EPA in the state of Ohio to remediate the brownfield site. We paid about $1 million towards this project. The city did. And I think at this point it's they still have all the testing in there, but it's been remediated.
Right.
Now we're testing. So the idea of that is it's bracketed by Loveland, Madeira, and a railroad. I mean, it screams for some sort of development.
Sure.
And what my goal would be, I would love if we could create something there that would generate the kind of income tax that we could start a fund like our water main replacement fund with that $750. What if we had a capital improvement fund that we never have to borrow for capital improvements either?
Right.
That's, if I could do nothing else but leave this this city in a position where we never borrow again, that's an ultimate goal. But something will happen with that chestnut that will be beneficial to the city. All right. So one other thing that I think we've really been pushing in the city is connectivity, meaning connecting people through sidewalks to each other and to downtown. So Claremont County, we have a huge project. It's a 3-phase project that will connect all of the neighborhoods on Loveland, Miamiville to the downtown. We've already completed phase 1, and you can go up and see the beautiful sidewalks, and eventually 2024 will be phase 2, 2025 will be the third. So it'll be every neighborhood up past the Loveland Early Childhood Center will connect. And the other in Claremont County is we are seeking a grant to connect Loveland, Miamiville going across St. Columban to what is currently the Grail, and hopefully will be a land conservancy if that goes through, and to the new park district, park up there, so that you'll be able to walk, ride your bike up that way. So that's Claremont. Warren County, this year, currently, the engineering study is currently taking place to connect all the neighborhoods up on Butterworth to the downtown. Come down Butterworth, down 48. So next year, the first phase of that would be completed.
So you could walk right into the new parking lot right
exactly.
there. Down Harrison.
Exactly right.
That's
exactly
awesome.
right. And in Hamilton County, Loveland, Madeira, there's a 3-phase. And as I mentioned, we do have funding for the first phase of sidewalks that's going to take place. And just like small ones, there's that Osage, which connects. It's the street that connects West Loveland to the Heights. And all the kids use that to get to the high school. And somebody suggested, why do we not have a sidewalk there? Well, that's a good question. So we're going to put a sidewalk there to make it safer for our kids. So that's a huge part of what I think this city is screaming for, and it is being able to walk and ride places as much as possible. And we're very much working on doing that, and not just talking about it. It's happening in phases as we speak. So those are kind of what we've accomplished in the last 6 years. That's what I think. I think we're certainly not sitting back,
Heck no.
not doing anything. And so as to why am I doing this again? Why am I running for a third term? Because I love the city. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but I am passionate about it, passionate about the residents here. I mean, you can see me downtown probably 3-4 nights a week.
That's the coolest part. You know, you're a mayor that's out there
Always.
and about there and friends with everybody. You're not hiding away. People know you,
right,
and feel comfortable with you.
Yes,
and I think that's awesome.
And that's my favorite part of it. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
My husband doesn't. He's always like, we can't get from A to B without stopping 4 times.
Sure.
But he loves it too. But it's fun. That's the fun. That's why. And this is a small city. It's a small city and love. This small little beautiful city. Why not enjoy it? I love it. I love every part of it. But I feel like we've accomplished a lot. I think we absolutely have. But there's so much left to do, including implementing these plans. And so, I want to be here to see that happen and be part of that. And I hear sometimes new people are running, and you hear this platitude of we need fresh ideas. And I think, okay, well, I don't quite understand what that means. I can see that if you're a council where you haven't done anything and aren't moving forward but
right.
I'm not sure what fresh ideas you're talking about here. I mean, there's a whole lot of them in those plans. We're working on it. That was fresh ideas that were given to us by our wonderful residents and community members that spent many, many hours over years doing those plans. And, so we're not sitting back, not doing anything, just waiting for it to come to us. I think we're very proactive.
Yeah.
So I hear that, I think, okay, I'm not sure, not sure what that means, but or what we're missing doesn't mean we're perfect. We're never, no way. I don't ever think we're perfect. I'm never not open to new ideas or new thoughts or other ways of thinking things. I am never the smartest person in the room. I am always happy to listen to what other people think, and that's why our city is thriving, is because that's what this council is.
Closing words.
Closing words. I would just say that I understand that we need to keep moving our city forward. A city that stops it dies. But also, you have to balance that with, I don't want to lose the small town feel of this city. I like it how it is too. So I understand it has to be measured, thoughtful development. We do not want to overdevelop. We need to keep Loveland the way it is, but continue to thrive so that we can keep doing the things that we're all excited about. You have to pay for them somehow. But we're not blind to the fact that we need to still be very mindful of smart development and not overdevelopment. I mean, we get that. We don't want to change the character of this community that we all love. So I guess I would say if people agree, if they're happy with the direction that this city has been going, if they generally think we're doing a good job, then I'd respectfully request your vote on November 7th. And no secret, I'm running with Andy Bateman and Brian Goodyear. Andy's been on council. Brian has been on our Law and Ordinance Committee. Both have been committed to the city and have shown that commitment. And we could sort of share a philosophy on where we need the city to go. So we'll keep working hard for you if elected. I'm very excited about the future of Loveland.
Hello, it's Elise Knapshafer back with another Loveland High School weekly update. This week marks the beginning of October and also the second to last week of our quarter, so everyone's pretty excited that we get a break in a little bit, but also working really hard to improve grades and get all our work in. As for sports, the season's winding down. This week, the only home games are girls volleyball, and then there's 2 girls soccer games. And this week, football is away at Little Miami.
Looking ahead in Loveland, it's time for the annual One-Stop Drop. On October 7th, 2023, from 1 to 4 p.m. at 600 Loveland Madeira Road, there will be a free event hosted by the Loveland Sustainability Council. This is an easy way for you to drop off your reusable or recyclable items sitting around your house. This event is open to the city of Loveland and Sims Township residents. The details will be available at our website, www.lovelandweeklypod.com. Also on October 7th, Loveland Sims Community Firefighters Association will hold its annual Kid Fest from 2 to 4 p.m. This is a free event to be held at the East Loveland Nature Preserve, 227 East Loveland Avenue. There will be inflatables, games for the kids, trick-or-treating, hot dogs, drinks, and fun for all. Is it time to replace your old mattress? Look no further. Join us at the 7th Annual Mattress Fundraiser, hosted by the Loveland girls basketball and volleyball teams. Mark your calendar for Sunday, October 8th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Loveland High School. They are transforming the school into a mattress showroom with 30 different mattress styles and sizes for you to try. And that's not all. They will have adjustable power bases, luxury pillows, foundations, mattress protectors, and premium sheets available too. They will offer the top quality brands with full factory warranties, all made to order and priced below retail. But the best part is, every purchase benefits Loveland School girls basketball and volleyball team. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to not only upgrade your sleep, but support our local athletes. We have something truly special here in Loveland. Thank you for listening, and have a great week. This episode was produced and engineered by On Brand Studios and recorded at Grailville, a magical place here locally like no other. Please note that the opinions expressed in the podcast do not necessarily represent the views of our sponsors or our organization.